All right, you're listening to Softcore Detachment, the podcast where soft hearts grow sharp boundaries and healing gets gloriously unhinged. I'm your host, Catalina, recovering perfectionist, certified chaos gremlin, and softcore CEO of Emotional Detachment. With me, as always, is Jonnie, producer, partner in crime, defender of boundaries, and professional glow-up baddie.
I'm her. She's me.
That is her. She is her. Hey, let's get messy. Let's do this. Guys, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the aesthetic glow up versus actual growth. Now, that was a really fun episode, and we are going to piggyback on that today by talking about some of the bread and butter, the structural components of actual growth, and that is discipline.
That's like the least sexy word alive.
I know, right? It does not sound fun, but
Yeah.
it is super, super important. Now, discipline is like the opposite of the Instagrammable fun stuff, right? Where we're looking at like TikTok transitions and everything looks so fun and so fast and so easy. And they're wearing cute little matching sets. And all of a sudden the work is done and they are the 2.0 version of themselves.
Yeah.
But in reality, you're looking at like early alarm clocks, ugly gym hair, and showing up to do the work even when you don't want to.
Yeah. It's
Okay?
about the vibe,
That's right. It's about the follow through.
not the vibe. I take it.
Okay. There could be vibe, right? You could be vibing
Yeah.
along while doing what you know is the right thing to do. And that's
But a
what true
better
discipline
vibe is following through.
There you go. I like that. Yeah, that does feel a little bit better. All right, so let's break it down, what it really is. Motivation means you're in the mood to do it. You feel motivated. Something inspired you. Maybe it was a health scare or crisis. Maybe it was something you saw on TikTok or on Instagram and it motivated you. For whatever reason, you feel like it. You feel like doing it for today. Now, that's not going to last. Motivation is going to crash and burn, and you're not going to feel like doing it all the time. So that's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the driving force that pushes you through it even when you don't want to do it. So, being disciplined and developing that discipline while you're motivated is really important. They go hand in hand. Discipline is the habits. It's getting up early. It's the meal prep. It's checking off checkboxes on spreadsheets. I love that. All right.
You're such a
Consistency.
spreadsheet nerd.
I'm such a nerd. Guys, like if you saw all the spreadsheets I have, the Notion like production value, it's gorgeous. I love it.
Nerd alert.
Such a nerd. All right. Discipline isn't punishment. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or that you're forced to do this. It's self-respect. This is getting you to that 2.0 version of yourself that you want to create. It's the savings account that you're making deposits into, and it's going to pay off someday. All right?
That.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Now, confession time. Jonnie, did you ever have a time that you quit something because it wasn't, fun anymore because the spark died? You lost the motivation?
Yeah, my marriage.
Oh my God.
God.
I did not see that coming. That wasn't in the script. Okay, that's fair. Those lose spark all the time. Yeah. Yes,
Well,
very
that
much so.
spark, it wasn't even so burnout. It was in the ground.
In the ground, buried and done. That is a great
Yeah.
point. Motivation and discipline also play a role in marriage. Yes. And sometimes it's not right to rekindle that spark. We can let that one die. Yeah, that's okay too. All right. So, in times like those, when the motivation has died, that is where discipline would kick in and you would still do the things that you don't want to do. Not in your case. No, we're going to let that one go. One of the things that I like to think about is motivation starts the story. That is the time when it's time to, get things going, start a new habit, build the foundation. But discipline is going to finish it. That's going to get you across the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What do you think? Sound good?
No, it does. I was recently, I'm in school again for another bachelor's degree, but I didn't I was motivated to start this new program, in the beginning, but when it came down to starting those classes, I'm like, ooh, this was probably not so much of a the idea sounded better than the execution. But the discipline of, wanting to get this other degree and wanting to build my, I guess I kind of have a hobby, but wanting to build that into something bigger, it was discipline that kept me going and took me there and allowed me to not withdraw. They have withdrawal dates for a reason, and it was just the discipline where I just kept going and didn't want to quit.
Very well said. Yeah, so at first it's all fun, it's exciting, you're enrolling in classes, you're getting your equipment ready, getting a cute little bag if you need it, right? That's one of my
Mhm.
favorite parts. And then the reality sets in and you're like, "Oh, I've got a schedule, I've got to work all these classes in, I have to have things done by a certain date." And it's pretty obvious at that point the reality of what you just took on, right?
Mhm. Oh
And
yeah.
that's where you would want to dump this and say, "Nope, I'm done here." But you kept going.
Yeah.
And it's paid off. You're having so much fun. You're working your butt off, but you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it a lot actually. It's
Yeah.
not easy though. It's hard and you have to be disciplined to meet the deadlines and the suspenses and to do, don't turn in mediocre products. It's cuz it's,
Mhm.
photo portfolios and things like that. So it takes discipline.
What's interesting is when you look at Instagram for photography and stuff like that, you see their finished product. You see the final photo. But I'm sure you don't see the weeks and months that they put in to get that photo, right?
Oh, yeah, and on some really good photographers' pages, what you'll see and they'll highlight it themselves. Let's say, "Oh my gosh, look at this picture from the first time I ever picked up a camera, and look at my work now." And it's that discipline. They never gave up. They kept going. They kept learning technique. They kept learning different things. And now look, they're just like renowned photographers for doing portraits, family photos, whatever it is, and they're fantastic.
I love that honesty. I think that makes it so much easier on folks like you who are still in that learning process
Mhm.
so that when you shell out some, mediocre work, you don't feel discouraged and
Yeah.
you know that you have that goal that you're still reaching toward and that you're on the path. You're right where you should be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. So there's that influencer version of life and then there's their like real day. Here's what it actually took to get me there. Here's how hard I worked. Here's how long I sat in the same place trying to get that shot of that bird, on the tree that you got to see. Yeah. Okay, so the influencer version versus the real version. And guys, in the fitness space, that is so true, if not more so. You're seeing a curated version of the human body. There are more people being honest now than ever before, and I'm grateful for that. But you're seeing the best angles, the best lighting. You're seeing people who have already dieted down, already
Mhm.
figured out their macros. They could have been on a GLP-1 at some point, like I was. And I would love to go into that in further episodes about why I chose to go on a GLP-1 at the end of last year and beginning of this year. So we'll talk about that coming up. They could be not being quite honest about what peptides they're taking or possibly supplementing with other things as well. So be cautious about what you're consuming on social media because it may not be realistic to the output that you're seeing.
Yeah, and you know what? I love those not even just the influencers, but the human anybody who's on there, any user who's on there that says, "Look at where I was," or maybe look at where my work was and look where I am now or look where my work
Mhm.
is now. I was in the military for a while with a guy named I won't say his name. Um,
Smart. A guy.
yeah, let's keep this legal. Yeah, with a man. He I knew he was a gym guy. I knew, we would work events not events, but, like, in the military, these, like, exercises, we would work these exercises together all the time, and I knew he was, like, a gym guy. He I knew he probably had a pretty disciplined body. I guess you could call it. You can just kind of tell his uniform was tailored. He was fit. He's a good looking guy, whatever. He's grown pretty big, so to speak. He's been on a couple reality shows. He's an attractive man. And his, he'll go on and show these pictures of when he was younger and a child and when he was bullied because he was bigger and larger and not in shape and ate junk food his whole life. And then after he went into the military, he wanted to get healthy and it took a lot of discipline because he naturally could be a bigger built person just based off of some hormone issues. And he also said it's genetics and runs in his family. And he was a large kid his whole life and has a taste of for bad food.
As most of us do.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But the discipline that this man has, I remember we would work these sometimes 16-hour days and barely ate all day. We were sweating. It was a chaotic day. And I'm like, oh, I'm so ready to just, I said, I don't even know if I have the energy to shower. He's like, I'm leaving here. I'm going to the gym. I was like, what? So it was a discipline. And I really like though how he's so real and will show you like you would never see a man that looks like that, look the complete opposite a little bit younger.
And that's so inspiring, I think, for a lot of people who are just starting on their journey and think, I could never get to that place. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, it really is. It's possible. It doesn't matter when you start or how you're starting now. That kind of endpoint is possible, but then you're never done. That's the other thing to keep in mind is he still works, I'm sure, to maintain that, doesn't he?
But yeah, because he posts a lot of gym videos, so I know he does.
That's so inspiring. Good for him. Good
Yeah.
for him. That's wonderful. So let's break down some things that he's probably doing or has done to make something like that work. So these are how discipline actually works. Let's create the softcore discipline kit that folks can follow.
What kid? I love that.
I know, right? My
Yeah.
spreadsheet mind already loves this too. So think about a micro commitment. One of the things I tell my new clients is you don't have to change everything about your life. That's not going to stick. That is not sustainable. It's not doable. But choose one little thing that you know you can commit to. So for a lot of people, we start with like cutting out sodas. Give me one soda a week, but otherwise you
No
got to find something
sodies.
else. No sodies. So cute how you say that. How people call
Mm.
them pop or
Yeah.
sodies.
Sodi.
Coke, you know? So choose something small, or let's say, come into the gym and get on the treadmill for 5 minutes. Let's start there. Choose something that is a micro commitment because those sorts of things snowball into each other. We can chain them together.
I
So
love
choose
that.
something small, little micro commitment. It's kind of like tricking yourself,
Yeah.
Once you start with
Oh.
something, you can chain it up to something bigger.
Yeah, like a little bite, like a little toddler. Take one little bite.
Oh, I like that, of your little dino nuggie. Yeah. The next thing, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, are the non negotiables. These are the things that you're going to write down and commit to no matter what. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what kind of day you had. These are the anchor habits. No
Mhm.
matter what happens, you're going to commit to these. Give
I've
me give me an
committed to
example of
that.
this.
I have that. It's on lock. I
Okay,
have
what do you got?
Celsius before talking to any human.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's like,
We
hold
are
on, let me hear
hold
the
on.
pop. Okay. Now I'm
We
ready
are
to
not
human.
paid by or endorsed by Celsius, but I just love them.
But if you hear this, we love you. And that Fuji apple pear is my lifesaver. Yes,
Goodness.
that is hilarious. Okay, so these are the non negotiables. These are the things that you will do no matter what. So my gym transformation happened when I was 30 years old. So I will do some math with you. That was 12 years ago now. How old am I? Yeah, no, that's about right. That's about right. Although I was started working at Snap before that because I'm coming up on like 14. How old is Silas? 15. Oh my gosh. No, that's not accurate. So I'm coming up on like 13 or 14 years of my gym transformation. And so at some point for me, I made a shift where doing a workout, it just is. I don't
Mhm.
care where I am, how I'm feeling, or what the environmental situation is. If I'm traveling, if I'm on vacation, I will work out. I will always find a way. And so that's one of my non negotiables. I'm going to get a workout in. It's just going to happen.
Okay.
And I think what's interesting is there are some folks who say stuff like, I fell off the wagon or I stopped working out for years and then had to come back to it. One of the things they always tell me is starting up again is much harder the second time around or the third
Mhm.
time around. And so I vowed to myself, I'm never going to do that. I'm too old for that. Starting up again is really, really hard. But keeping a habit that you've already started, maintaining it is doable. That's much easier.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, you have to have those non-negotiables and, like why? If you don't, what is your motivation then? Right? What are you going to build off of?
For sure. For sure. And that brings up a great point, building off of other habits that you're already really good at. And that's my number 3. stack your habits. And I learned this from the book Atomic Habits. It's a great
Ooh,
read. Go check it out. Something that you're already really good at paired with something that you're trying to build. So let's say you're really bad at taking your vitamins in the morning, put it in your bathroom next to your toothbrush. You better be brushing your teeth every morning. Otherwise, I don't know what to do for you. Okay. Come on. Please don't be that person. So you brush your teeth in the morning, and then boom, there's your little cup of water, and there's your vitamins. Pop them. There it is. That becomes your next chain in the link that you're creating for your atomic habits.
yeah. Brush
I
teeth,
love
floss,
that one.
life choices.
Yes. And then we won't come down on you. It's
No,
like, come on, guys. This one's basic. Come on.
no,
All right. Now,
gosh.
this next one we are queens at because we are living it right now. Do it now, not perfectly. Uh huh. So,
Hmm.
as far as the podcast goes, we have been learning as we go. We were not great at it. We made a lot of mistakes, but we kept going and we got better and better, I like to think. And doing something poorly is better than doing nothing at all, right? You don't have to be perfect. Just keep going and make progress, right?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, messy queen energy. I mean, it's discipline. Discipline is me tonight. It ain't fast food if you eat it slowly.
Oh my gosh, come on. That is perfect. Did you just come up with that on the fly? That's not anywhere near our bullet points.
No, it's like a really old like meme, and it's this guy, and he's like, and
He's like,
he does
he's like,
tons. It's tons of
think
them. I'm gonna
about
send
it.
it to you.
It's not
It's
fast
not
food if
fast
you
food if
eat
you
it
eat it
slowly.
slowly.
Wow, perfect. All right. And lastly, celebrate quietly. Because these are the kind of wins, again, that aren't Instagrammable. They're not sexy, but they add up to big results. So, posting your checklist, I don't know if anybody's going to be super excited about my spreadsheets. I'm really excited.
I
I love
would.
them.
That's like my love language.
They're beautiful. I have them across multiple platforms. Talk to me about my Google Sheets. But, they do add up to those big moments that are Instagrammable and that you feel great at. Confidence comes from consistency. The intensity, you shoot for the moon right away and it's not going to work, but you take those baby steps and you're going to get there. It's going to be worth it. I promise you that. Yeah. Okay. Now, sometimes, Miss Joni, correct me if I'm wrong, discipline can feel boring.
Beyond.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, what I want to know, do you have a story of like when you don't feel totally inspired but you kept going?
Hmm. Yes. Yeah, very much so. And actually, a lot of it comes back to kind of the stuff that we're doing now. It honestly comes back to social media. I hate posting. I I'm not consistent, I'm not good at it, and I feel like at the end of the day I'm spinning my wheels.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel so inspired, like something comes up, a client says something, or I go to a conference and there's something that I feel like, oh, I've just got to share this with people. I've got to get it out there. And that feels so authentic and so real. But then other times you just have this compulsory, you know, in any field that you're in, you have to post so that you can get exposure, so you can get potentially new clients. And I don't like that kind of posting. Like that doesn't feel authentic. But
Mhm.
one time, more often than not, I should say, not one time, multiple times, I've had random people in my world either reach out to me, DM me, or tell me in person that this one particular post really meant a lot to them, that they needed to hear it at that time, or it helped them, you know, lose fat, gain muscle, developed a practice, whatever it was. And it hit me extra hard because this is the one part of the business that I struggle with the most. You put me in front of a person and I can do this all day. I love it. But you tell me to build an Instagram following or a Facebook following, and I'm like, I don't want to. I hate posting every day. I feel like I run out of content.
I just
And
feel
so,
judged. I feel so judged sometimes.
and people are mean.
Yes.
They're mean. And so, yeah, I just don't like putting myself out there like that. But when you hear feedback like that something you're doing mattered to somebody and that it helped them, it makes a huge difference. And so
Mhm.
every now and then you push through something like that, you build a discipline around that practice, and it comes back and it made a huge difference. How about you? What do you got?
Oh, I have to say, my last photography class, I read the syllabus. I'm like, all right, got it. Doesn't sound too hateful. And then I start doing some of the work and I'm like, what? I didn't even know this button exists on this camera.
Yeah.
I don't, and then it's like, and then they want you to do this in Photoshop and this. I'm like, I don't know Photoshop. So I had to learn that beast in and of itself. And I did want to quit, but I was inspired in the beginning. Um, and then I lost that and wanted to quit, wanted to give up. And I'm I just got done with the finals for that in another class actually. And it was phenomenal. It was great. And I'm just so glad.
I love that. That's a great example. That's perfect. Especially because you're challenging yourself so much with like new, very intensive skills and
Hmm.
programs.
Hmm.
And that learning curve is steep as well.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
So,
So, yeah, point being, guys, discipline is the foundation, okay? Anytime you're building something new, discipline is what's going to hold everything else up. You need to develop that skill. It's going to work for your personal life, your health, your professional life. Everything relies on discipline, doing what you don't necessarily want to do when you don't want to do it.
ooh, I like that.
Felt a little
It's like,
redundant.
but you know what? No, it's like the discipline that feels maybe dull today.
Yeah.
I swear your future self is going to worship you for that.
Ooh, that's nice. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And again, I like that idea of a savings account. It doesn't pay out right away. You may not see the results you want to see right away, but that doesn't mean you give up. Okay. The savings account pays off later on. And then all of a sudden, that account is huge and you get to pull out a lump sum. Okay.
Ooh,
So keep making those tiny deposits now, and it's going to pay out in the end.
and I will buy that Range Rover.
Ooh, I like that. I'm going for one of those new vintage Ford Broncos.
Oh,
Those
okay.
are so cute. I love them. All right. So, what I would love to hear from you guys this time, and I'm asking for some interaction, is DM us, tag us, or comment down below what's a win that you had recently. Maybe you meal prepped. Maybe you made it to the gym 3 days this week instead of falling off the wagon after day 1 or 2. Maybe you followed through on a class that you've been taking or a certification that you needed and you finally finished. Let's hear the wins. Maybe you didn't throw your alarm clock across the room or something like that. Make it silly, make it fun, make it serious, but we want to hear back from you.
I know someone who had an alarm clock that walked away every time.
That's so obnoxious. Oh
And
my
it would go
god.
to the other side of the room.
So you didn't have a choice. You got to get your butt up and go follow an alarm clock?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I'm just gonna pat myself here. I don't really need an alarm clock. I'm a morning person but don't call me at 7 o'clock at night and be like, "Want to do something?" No, I really
It's
don't.
true. Like you shut your phone down by like 7:30. I cannot get a hold of
Sometimes
you.
before, I know.
But then 6 a.m. you're sending me a text. You're like, "Hey girl, here's what's going on today."
But
And I'm
I
like,
was already up for 2 hours.
"Oh my god, spectacular." That should be studied.
That's like discipline.
That's something. Yeah, that's crackhead energy is what that is.
That's crazy, but it's something.
I love it. Alrighty, guys. So there's the meat and potatoes. That's one of the most important skills in the Softcore Detachment library that we have to teach you. Build discipline. This is a great one. Thank you so much for listening. As always, we appreciate you. We love you, your light, your darkness, your discipline, and the motivation that comes and goes with it. Until next time.
Thought that I would be a bit at peace by now. Yeah, you're lying in the shadows of my